You're about to make the biggest investment of your life. Before you do that, watch this video. Welcome to Cooking Finance, a channel where we help you recover and grow your wealth so that you can pass your wealth to the next generation so that you can live a rich and fulfilling life. Join me on this journey as I teach finance from my kitchen. Click the like button and subscribe to the channel. One of the biggest challenges people have today is, where should I invest my money? A lot of people, maybe you have a lump sum money, maybe you have a salary that you can invest in little by little. Where should you put your money? And the biggest tension is between, should I invest in real estate or should I put it in equities? Even for a lot of people, like their pension funds and all their retirement funds or their portfolio, should I put it in real estate? Should I invest more in my house, pay off my house, or should I invest in the equity market? And that's a big decision because usually it's the biggest decision you are going to ever make. And there are a lot of factors that affect this. Most of this is to be able to consider each factor and see which one applies to you. First is, what is the current state of your portfolio? Are you well diversified already? Do you have all your investment in a house? A lot of people are house rich, but they are cash poor. And a lot of people, they cannot handle an emergency when it happens. The current state of your portfolio will determine the next course of action that you should take. The next factor you have to look at is, what is your current net worth? Are you in a gathering phase or are you in a stabilized phase? Are you trying to preserve wealth? Or are you trying to grow wealth rapidly? Do you still have time? Time is another big factor. How much time do you have to be able to liquidate that investment? So all those factors are important. Another factor you have to look at is the current market opportunities. What is the state of the market? What is the state of the real estate market? Recently, for example, in Canada, the real estate market has been coming down. In Vancouver area, the market crashed by almost 20%. In Alberta, the market crashed maybe by 10%. In Toronto, market crashed by another like 20%. So it depends on the current state of the market. What is the current state of the equity market? Are we in a bear market? Are we in a bull market? Is there a lot of uncertainties in the market? Just like now with all the tariffs going on, there is a lot of volatility in the market. So the current state of the market will also determine where you put your money, because when you are investing, you are looking at the long term and you want to get that value in right from the start. A lot of people take up an investment at the peak of the market. They invest at the peak of the market and then the market comes down and then they lose a lot of money. And if you're lucky, we're not talking about timing the market. We're just talking about being able to do proper analysis to be able to know what you should put your money into. Let's now break it down. Let's go into the details of what a real estate investment does, what an equity investment does. A real estate investment, if you need steady cash flow, because you probably want to buy a house, if it's for an investment, you want to rent it out. So if you need steady cash flow, real estate will be the way to go. It gives you steady cash flow. And if you want tangible assets, a lot of people are very emotional about having a tangible asset, something they can feel, something they can touch, something they can just see and say, oh, that's my house. And even culturally, a lot of people like to see what they are investing in. So if that's your case, then real estate will be the way to go. Another point for real estate is that it helps you to leverage a lot. You can leverage, most people, when they buy a house, they pay 20% down. Some even pay as low as 5% down. And they can leverage 95%, leverage 80%, over a long period of time. So you can get a 30-year mortgage, a 25-year mortgage, so you can have leverage. So you are putting only 20% down and you are growing your wealth. The other one is tax advantage. In real estate, you can get a lot of tax advantage through depreciation of that asset. On an annual basis, you can charge depreciation and it helps your net income for that year. But when you're talking about equities, if you want liquidity, equities is the way to go. Because in real estate, you have an asset. If you want to sell it or you need cash or you want to liquidate that investment, it might take months. In some cases, like the market today is slowed down, for example, in Canada, it might take even a year. That house might be on the market for a year. That's a big downside. But for equities, you can turn your money to cash in a matter of a few hours or a matter of a day. If you need liquidity, equity is the way to go. If you want a fast compounding, compound interest, they say, is the eighth wonder of the world. If you want fast compounding, a quick growth in your investment, then equities is the way to go. Over the last 50 years, for example, the S&P 500 has done an average of 10 to 12%. And even if you go to the NASDAQ has done about 12 to 15% in the last 50 years. So that's a significant growth, which is usually higher than what you get in the real estate market. If you're in a growing phase of your net worth, then you might want to consider the equity market because it helps you compound your money faster. The other big point for equities is about diversification. In real estate, you're stuck to the real estate market. But in the equities market, you can diversify to any sector. You can buy shares in the health sector, you can buy in oil and gas sector, you can buy even in the real estate sector, you can buy in the service sector, you can buy in retailing, in tech, in anything, in semiconductors, anything that is available. You can invest in anything. So it gives you huge diversification. And that's very important on the long term because markets do go up and down. Markets change. So when there's a huge change in one sector, there might be a gain in one sector. That's why a lot of people love to invest in ETFs or the index because it helps them diversify their risk correctly. The other big point for equities is it involves low management. Your time availability is so important in investment. When you are investing in real estate, you need to manage that house. Whether you get a property manager, which then you have to pay and eats into your profit, or you have to manage it yourself. You're going to have tenants, you're going to have repairs and maintenance work and things you need to do. You have to be going back to that asset. Maybe a tenant moves out, you need to go back again and fix the whole place, inspect the whole place. But when it comes to equities, it involves low management. You're paying a management fee, maybe for an index fund, which is very low. Like if you buy an index ETF, you're paying 0.03% management fee, and you don't need to do anything. You're just investing your money and you are going to sleep. So if you don't have the time and if you don't have the energy to be chasing your investment on a day-to-day basis, then equities is the way to go. Let's compare it now in terms of numbers. So like I said, if we now compare one-to-one in terms of numbers, so if you compare return on investment, if your big driver is return on investment, then maybe equities is the way to go. It gives you a bigger return on investment. It's been proven in the last 50 years, in the last 100 years. Equities always trump real estate when it comes to return on investment. Another factor is cash flow. Cash flow is the money that flows into your account on a regular basis. It's the actual cash you're receiving on a regular basis. In real estate, you can have a rental that pays you every month and generates income, generates a cash flow for you every month. You can also have that in equities. You can have dividends. A lot of companies pay dividend, but they pay dividend every quarter, and dividends are not guaranteed. And the yield on dividends can vary wildly. Some pay as low as 0.5%, and some pay as high as like 5%, or you hardly have the anything more than that. But usually most dividends are in the range of 2 to 3%. So, but that comes every quarter. Most people just reinvest their dividend. But so if you need constant cash flow, then real estate is the way to go. Another factor is volatility. When it comes to the equity market, it can be very volatile. I mean, recently this year, for example, we've experienced huge drawdowns in the market. In the first quarter, due to the introduction of the tariffs by the US government, the whole world market tanked at a point in February, but it's recovered. Most of those stocks have gained back what they lost. But if you are not able to handle volatility, and that's why it's important to also understand the time horizon of your investment. If you are an investor for the long haul, then you shouldn't be too worried about that. The volatility in the market over a long time kinds of evens out. So you're going to have a bear market, like in 2022, we had a strong bear market. We had a drawdown of up to like 35% on the NASDAQ, for example. But most of this have recovered. We are now even at all-time highs in the equity market. While in the real estate market, volatility is very low. Things can go up or down, but in very little percentages, except you have like 1 in a million or 1 in a decade events like we had in 2008, where we had a mortgage crash in the US that affected the whole global market. So real estate gives you very low volatility, while equities can be highly volatile. The other big factor also you have to consider is barrier to entry. Most people who are trying to grow their wealth, they cannot enter most of the real estate market. I mean, average median house prices in Canada now is about $350,000 or more, and depending on the market. Most people, maybe you are just a fresh graduate coming into the market, you earn like $50,000. It might be difficult for you to go into some markets. So the barrier to entry is very high when it comes to real estate. However, in the equity market, you can invest as low as $25 and start investing. Most ETFs, they take as low as $25. You can dollar cost average into those funds on a monthly basis, and you can grow your wealth rapidly and participate in the growth. Another factor to consider when making this decision, whether to go into real estate or into equities, is which one edges inflation better. Inflation has hovered around 2 to 3% in North America. However, we saw recently after COVID, inflation went as high as 8-9%. But we know government always do everything to bring inflation down by raising interest rates. A lot of people could not enter the real estate market due to high interest rate, which translate to high mortgage rates. So, however, the real estate market is a good hedge for inflation because it keeps its value over time. So also is the equity market. So both markets, both investments are good hedges for inflation. One other big factor in making this decision between real estate and equities is leveraging. Leveraging means you're using additional funds, other people's money, they call it, additional funds to augment your investment. So in real estate, for example, you can leverage up to even 95% for high-risk mortgages. But if you can pay down 20%, you can leverage for a conventional mortgage 80%. And that's good for a lot of people. So if you're buying a $500,000 house, you only need to put down $100,000. And then you have a $500,000 asset, which you gain all the capital gains on that asset. So as the asset begins to grow, all the gains is yours while you are paying your mortgage interest. So that's a huge leverage for when you are doing real estate. However, in the equities, you can also leverage. It's called margin. You can take margin on your account. A lot of people invest on margin, but that's very, very risky compared to real estate. So it takes somebody who understands the market and who is well experienced and a professional to use margin correctly. And even that, you have to be very careful. We saw that in what happened in 2008 when the whole market crashed. A lot of companies that were highly leveraged went under. We remember Lehman Brothers. They went under because they were over leveraged. And so leveraging is safer when it comes to real estate than when it comes to equities. And those are the conditions you have to consider. I hope I've been able to give you a clear picture of where to put your biggest investment, where to put your money. Everything depends on, like I said, what is your risk appetite? Where are you in your life today in terms of net worth? Where are you in terms of your net worth? And where are you in terms of your current investment portfolio? That's important. And when you are able to assess all that, then you can make the correct decision of where to put your money at any point in time. I hope I've been able to nail this for you. What do you think of this video? Let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.